Hi and welcome back to another episode of Drawing Shapes, Contour and Form. In this episode, I will tell you the difference between them and yet how they relate with each other. Shape is the outline of an object. There are two types of shapes, geometric and organic. Square, triangle, circle are examples of geometric shapes, whereas leaves, flowers, animals are organic shapes which are asymmetrical. Shapes are flat and have only two dimensions, length and height. In this exercise, we are going to carefully draw precise lines to define the outline of the shape. In my earlier video, I showed you how to draw lines in one stroke without much thinking of controlling the line and mistakes. But now we have to draw and control them in a very cautious manner. Draw these shapes correctly, check for the errors and make the necessary changes wherever required. The foundation of any drawing is breaking down the complex subject into simple shapes and then start building upon it. Almost all drawings can be simplified into basic shapes, for example, oval for the head and triangle for the nose. Now I will draw the outline for the nose. I am focusing only on the shape and ignoring the other details and values. Try to simplify them into basic geometric shapes or a simple irregular shape. Practice drawing many other shapes. Take reference, observe them carefully and try to simplify in basic geometric shape. The lines that wrap around the object to define the form are called as contour lines. Contour line is not only the outline of the shape but also shows the turning of the form. If you want to give solidity and volume to your form in the initial stages, then these lines are very helpful to suggest that. So now the question is that what should we care for these contour lines? Okay, to make our drawing look 3D, we add values and highlights. So if you add these contour lines, it will help you in building up the form in a more constructive way. For example, drawing the inner imagery dotted lines makes it look even better or three-dimensional. Now I will add the contour lines parallel to each other, which defines the form and gives it a solid volume. Practicing these lines will help you in developing three things. Firstly, it will help you to build your eye, to identify the complex forms and suggest them with the help of contour lines without even shading. In this way, you will be able to judge whether you're building the form correctly or not. Secondly, if you are drawing from memory or reference image where you have to adjust or change the light, then adding these lines will help you in laying down the value at ease in the later stages. Because now you know where there is turn in the form and you can shade it no matter from where the light is falling on the subject. You won't have to struggle to add the values. Lastly, practicing more and more of these lines will help you to gain good control online. Look how by adding just few contour lines, it shows the bumps and turning of the form. This exercise is difficult and should be practiced thoroughly. Later on, you may add value to your lines, meaning draw dark lines when there will be darker values on the form and light for the lighter values. By doing so, you will develop the sense of placing the values on the form in form of lines. A form is an object which has volume, that is length, height and width or depth. For example, square is the shape, whereas cube is the form which has volume in space. When you add limited or full range of values to the form, it starts to give an illusion to the eye that the drawing is 3D on a flat 2D paper. I'm drawing two squares in perspective, out of which one I will keep blank to show as highlight and add strokes in another plane with half tone and also a dark tone for the shadow shape. This forms the cube. Only two sides of the cube are visible, but just by adding the shadow, it gives a nice 3D look to the subject. Now I will draw the pyramid where three sides are visible. Assuming that the light source is coming from left and directly hitting on the front plane. I will keep it blank as highlight, fill the second plane with half tone and bottom plane with dark tone. I am not adding any shadows. Shading is very important where light and shadow plays very important role. After defining the shape and constructing the structure, the one more important thing that remains is shading. Adding full range of values, lights and texture will trick your eye to give an illusion of depth and volume. Many students think that the more you shade a drawing, the better it will look. At times, it happens that even after adding all the values, the drawing does not look good. Even a novice user will be able to make out that there is a mistake but might not be able to figure out it. Now why this happens? It is because they see the drawings of artists and see them as a nicely placed strokes. What they don't observe is that how the light falls and affects the form of the subject, the reflected lights, cast shadows, half tones and etc. Placing the right stroke and value at correct place is very essential in order to make your drawings look convincing. These are the few insights about the shape, contour and shading. Each element plays an important role and should be practiced enough to understand the concept. That brings this video to an end. There are other videos from this course which are worth watching. I will leave the links in the description below. Please hit that like button if you liked the video and comment what you liked or disliked about this video. Click on the subscribe button for more videos. Thank you for watching.